The elevator doors slid open on the 7th floor, and Maya Harper wheeled her last suitcase down the hallway of her new apartment building. After landing her dream graphic design job in San Francisco, she'd finally saved enough to leave her cramped studio behind. The spacious two-bedroom she'd found online seemed perfect: affordable rent, great location, and a roommate who, according to their brief email exchanges, seemed normal enough. She stopped at apartment 7C and knocked twice before fishing out her key. The door swung open before she could use it. "You must be," the woman's cheerful greeting died mid-sentence. Her warm brown eyes went wide, and the coffee mug in her hand tilted dangerously. Maya's breath caught. "Iris?" For a moment, they both stood frozen in the doorway. Iris Chen hadn't changed much in 5 years, same shoulder-length black hair that fell in soft waves, same constellation of freckles across her nose that Maya used to count during their late-night study sessions. She wore an oversized sweater and paint-stained jeans, looking exactly like the art student Maya had fallen for back in college. I didn't know," Iris stammered, setting her mug down on the nearest surface. "Your listing said M. Harper, and I just thought." "And you signed the lease as I, Chen," Maya finished, her mind racing. "So neither of us knew." An uncomfortable silence stretched between them. The last time they'd seen each other was graduation day, when Iris had gotten accepted into an art residency in Oakland and Maya had landed her first job in San Francisco. They'd promised to stay in touch, to make it work somehow. They hadn't. "I can find another place," Maya said quickly, already mentally calculating security deposits and moving costs she couldn't afford. "No." Iris's response came out too loud, echoing in the hallway. She softened her voice. "I mean, you already paid first and last month's rent, right? And the lease is signed. Let's just give it a try. We're both adults." It was a long time ago. Maya wanted to argue that 5 years wasn't that long, that some things didn't fade with time. Instead, she nodded and wheeled her suitcase inside. The first week was awkward in ways Maya hadn't anticipated. She'd prepared herself for painful memories and lingering feelings, but she hadn't expected the small, mundane moments to hurt the most. Iris still hummed while making breakfast. She still left sticky notes with doodles on the bathroom mirror. She still stayed up too late working on her art, the soft scratch of charcoal on paper drifting through the quiet apartment. They developed an unspoken system: Maya took the early morning shower, Iris took the evening one. They labeled their food in the fridge with different colored tape. They communicated through polite notes about trash duties and thermostat settings, carefully avoiding anything personal. On Sunday morning, Maya emerged from her room to find Iris sitting cross-legged on the living room floor, surrounded by dozens of paintings. She was sorting them into piles, her brow furrowed in concentration. "Sorry," Iris said without looking up. "I'm trying to organize my portfolio for this gallery showing. I'll clean up soon." Maya paused, her coffee mug halfway to her lips. "A gallery showing? That's amazing, Iris." Iris glanced up, surprise flickering across her face. It was the first real conversation they'd initiated since Maya moved in. "It's just a small local place, nothing fancy. They want 20 pieces by next month, and I'm trying to figure out which ones actually work together." Maya set down her mug and sat on the couch, studying the paintings spread across their floor. Iris's style had evolved, her work was bolder now, more confident. Abstract landscapes bled into portraits of faceless figures, all rendered in stunning blues and golds. This one, Maya pointed to a painting of a city skyline at dusk, lights beginning to twinkle against a deepening sky. "And that one?" She indicated an abstract piece that seemed to capture the feeling of rain without actually depicting it. They both have this sense of transition, of being between two states. Iris tilted her head, studying the paintings Maya had chosen. Slowly, she began pulling out other pieces, creating a new arrangement. "You always did have a good eye," she said softly. They spent the next 2 hours sorting through Iris's work, falling into an easy rhythm that reminded Maya of their college days. Back then, she'd helped Iris prepare for every critique and exhibition, and Iris had stayed up with Maya through countless design project deadlines. "Remember Professor Kingston's class?" Iris said suddenly, laughing. "When you accidentally submitted that logo design where the negative space spelled out something completely inappropriate?" Maya groaned, covering her face. "I thought I was going to die. You were the only one who noticed before I presented it." "I saved your academic career that day," Iris teased, her eyes crinkling at the corners. "You really did," Maya agreed, and for the first time in a week, the apartment felt less like a minefield and more like a home. As October turned to November, they gradually relaxed into a routine that resembled friendship. They started watching cooking competition shows together after dinner, arguing good-naturedly about which contestants deserved to win. Iris began leaving the bathroom door open when she painted, and Maya stopped hiding in her room on weekends. One rainy Thursday evening, Maya came home to find Iris pacing the living room, her phone pressed to her ear. Her voice was strained, professional. "I understand, but we agreed on the original timeline." "Yes, I can wait another month, but..." "Right. Thank you." She ended the call and slumped onto the couch, looking defeated. "What happened?" Maya asked, setting down her bag. Iris sighed. "The gallery postponed my show. Some established artist became available, so they're giving him my slot. I'll probably get rescheduled for March, maybe April." She laughed bitterly. "If I'm lucky." Maya sat down beside her, maintaining a careful distance. "That's incredibly unfair." "It's how the art world works," Iris said, staring at her hands. "Unless you're already famous or connected, you're dispensable." She was quiet for a moment, then added, "I thought this was finally my chance, you know? To prove that I made the right choice, pursuing art instead of..." She didn't finish the sentence, but Maya heard the unspoken words anyway. "Instead of us." "Your work is incredible, Iris," Maya said firmly. "One gallery postponing doesn't change that." Iris looked at her, vulnerability written across her face. "You really think so?" "I know so," Maya replied. "And for what it's worth, you did make the right choice. You're an amazing artist. You always were." Something shifted in the air between them, not quite reconciliation, but an acknowledgement of old wounds beginning to heal. December brought the first snowfall and an unexpected crisis. Maya came down with the flu, spending 3 miserable days alternating between fever chills and sweating through her sheets. She tried to handle it alone, texting Iris to stay away from her room to avoid getting sick. Iris ignored her completely. She appeared in Maya's doorway with soup that actually tasted homemade, cold medicine, and a stack of movies. "Don't argue," she said when Maya tried to protest. "I've already had my flu shot, and you look terrible." "Thanks," Maya croaked, her throat raw. Iris set up a tray table and stayed while Maya ate, chattering about the neighbor's cat and the new coffee shop that had opened downstairs. She changed Maya's water glass, brought extra blankets, and didn't leave until Maya's fever broke the next morning. "You didn't have to do all that," Maya said when she finally felt human again. Iris shrugged, refilling the humidifier in Maya's room. "We're roommates. That's what roommates do." But they both knew it was more than that. Roommates didn't know exactly how someone liked their tea when they were sick. They didn't automatically queue up comfort movies or remember that she preferred ginger ale to sports drinks when nauseated. On Christmas Eve, neither of them had plans to go home. Maya's family was on the East Coast, too far for just a few days off, and Iris's parents were traveling abroad. They'd both pretended this was fine, until they found themselves alone in the apartment with a frozen pizza and a Charlie Brown Christmas special on TV. "This is pathetic," Iris announced suddenly, muting the television. "We're two reasonably capable adults. We can do better than freezer pizza on Christmas Eve." "What did you have in mind?" Maya asked. 20 minutes later, they were bundled in coats and scarves, trudging through snow to the one grocery store still open. They loaded a cart with ingredients for a proper dinner, bickering cheerfully about whether green beans or Brussels sprouts were the superior vegetable. Back at the apartment, they worked side by side in their tiny kitchen. Iris handled the roasted vegetables while Maya attempted chicken that, miraculously, didn't turn out dry. They burned the first batch of rolls but declared the second batch perfect. Christmas music played from Iris's phone, and somewhere between basting the chicken and stealing bites of mashed potatoes, they started singing along. "I forgot how bad your voice gets on the high notes," Iris teased. "I forgot how you can't keep rhythm to save your life," Maya shot back, and they both dissolved into laughter. When they finally sat down to eat, the food wasn't fancy, but it was theirs. The apartment was warm and smelled like home. Snow fell softly outside their windows, coating San Francisco in white. "This is nice," Iris said quietly. "I'm glad we're doing this together." "Me too," Maya admitted. They didn't talk about what it meant, that they'd chosen to spend Christmas together. They didn't address the fact that they'd stopped being careful around each other, that touches lingered a moment too long, that they knew each other's schedules and preferences and dreams. January arrived with New Year's resolutions and a surprise. Maya came home from work to find Iris practically vibrating with excitement. "I got an email from a gallery in Oakland," she said, words tumbling out in a rush. "A real gallery, Maya. They saw photos of my work online and want to feature me in a spring exhibition. It's exactly the kind of break I've been waiting for." "Iris, that's incredible." Maya pulled her into a hug without thinking. For a moment, they held each other, and Maya remembered exactly why she'd never gotten over this person. When they pulled apart, Iris's expression had shifted to something uncertain. "There's just one thing. They want me to come to Oakland for a few weeks in March to work with their curator and prepare. It's a great opportunity, but it means I'd need to sublet my room or go," Maya said immediately. "Don't even think twice. This is your dream." "But the lease, and rent, and..." "I'll figure it out," Maya assured her. "This is too important. You have to go." Iris's eyes were bright with unshed tears. "Thank you. For understanding, I mean. For always understanding." February passed too quickly. They fell into a comfortable rhythm that felt dangerously close to something neither of them named. They cooked dinner together most nights. They started a weekly movie tradition. Iris painted while Maya worked on freelance design projects, sharing the living room in comfortable silence. One evening, Maya found Iris standing at the window, watching snow fall over the city lights. She looked lost in thought, her reflection ghost-like in the glass. "What are you thinking about?" Maya asked, joining her. Iris was quiet for a long moment. "Do you ever wonder what would have happened if we tried harder? 5 years ago, I mean." Maya's heart stuttered. They'd avoided this conversation so carefully, dancing around it for months. "Sometimes," she admitted. "But I think we both needed to become who we are now. You needed Oakland, and I needed San Francisco. We had to grow separately." "And now?" Iris asked, turning to face her. "Now that we've grown?" The question hung between them, heavy with possibility. Maya wanted to be brave, to say all the things she'd been feeling since the day she'd opened that apartment door. But fear held her back, fear of ruining what they'd rebuilt, fear of losing Iris again. "Now you have Oakland waiting," Maya said gently. "Your big break, remember? Everything you've worked for." Iris's expression flickered with something that might have been disappointment. "Right. Oakland." March arrived with cherry blossoms and departure dates. Iris had spent weeks preparing her portfolio, packing and repacking her supplies, talking excitedly about the gallery and the opportunities this could bring. Maya helped her practice her artist statement and organize her travel plans, pushing down the ache in her chest every time she thought about the empty apartment that awaited her. The night before Iris left, they ordered takeout and sat on the living room floor, surrounded by half-packed boxes. "I'm going to miss this," Iris said softly. "These past months, living here with you. It's been really special." "It has," Maya agreed. "I'm glad we got this time together." Iris set down her chopsticks, her expression serious. Maya, I need to tell you something before I go. I've been trying to find the right moment, but I don't think there is a right moment, so I'm just going to say it. She took a deep breath. Moving in here, reconnecting with you, it's been the best thing that's happened to me in 5 years. Maybe ever. And I know Oakland is important, but... Iris, Maya started, but Iris held up a hand. Let me finish. I spent 5 years trying to get over you, and I thought I had. But being here, seeing who you've become, laughing with you and just existing in the same space, I realized I never really let you go. And I don't want to anymore. Maya's eyes stung with tears. Oakland. Is 3 weeks, Iris interrupted. 3 weeks to do this gallery show, to prove I can make it as an artist. But then I'm coming back here. To San Francisco. To this apartment. She reached across the space between them and took Maya's hand. To you. If you want that. Maya squeezed her hand, emotions overwhelming her. I never got over you either. I tried, but you were always there, in every sunset I saw, every design I created. Coming home to you these past months has felt like finally breathing again after holding my breath for years. So when I come back. When you come back, Maya said firmly, we'll figure this out. Together. For real this time. Iris smiled, the kind of smile that reached her eyes and made Maya's heart skip. Together, she repeated. I like the sound of that. They didn't make any promises about forever. They didn't plan out their future in detail. But they sat together on that floor until late in the night, hands intertwined, talking about what came next. About second chances and new beginnings. About two people who'd needed to find themselves before they could find their way back to each other. The next morning, Maya helped Iris load her car, carrying boxes and art supplies down to the parking lot. At the driver's side door, they paused. 3 weeks, Iris said. 3 weeks, Maya confirmed. And then we start over. Not over, Iris corrected. Forward. We start moving forward. Maya nodded, tears threatening to fall. Go make Oakland fall in love with your art. Show them what I've known all along. Iris climbed into her car, but before pulling away, she rolled down the window. Maya? Thank you. For being patient with me. With us. Always, Maya said. She watched Iris drive away, but this time, it didn't feel like goodbye. It felt like the start of something new, something they'd both finally grown brave enough to choose. Back in the apartment, Maya noticed a painting on the kitchen table, one of Iris's pieces, wrapped in brown paper with a sticky note attached. The note was covered in Iris's handwriting, for M. Harper, the girl who sees me clearly. Even when I'm still figuring myself out. Don't forget to water my plants. I'll be home soon. Maya smiled through her tears, carefully hanging the painting in the living room where morning light would catch it perfectly. 3 weeks suddenly didn't seem so long at all.